depends.
That doesn't mean that she was mentally mature enough to understand what marriage is and accept it, give consent to it.
How do you know?
So you said that you're mentally mature if you can cook and clean and take care of yourself.
Certain things, yeah. And others.
I don't think that gives you mental maturity to understand what marriage is. Because I've got nieces, very young, who can clean, they can do a little bit of something. I would never think that my niece is mature enough to
She may well not be.
And they've reached puberty as well, so I don't accept that because they can do these things.
She may not well be.
Mature and physically, definitely not physically mature enough to bear a child.
Intercourse, and bear a child.
Even if they reach puberty.
She may not be. She may not be. But the thing is, we believe, and the thing is,
how do you know that they were mentally mature
the thing
in
is,
the 7th century?
the thing is, we believe Aisha was.
Even when she was playing with dolls?
Even when she was playing with dolls,
so
yeah.
You think someone who plays with dolls is old enough to be in a sexual marriage relationship?
I'm going to answer this, and I'm going to ask her a question. Are you aware of the age of consent of marriage in places like the United States? In some states, age of 10, 11, 12, 14. What you need is the consent of the parent. If the parent gives consent to a court, the local court, the county court, or the state court, they can marry at that age.
But in Islam, doesn't the girl need to give consent as well?
In vast majority of cases, yes. Yeah. So let me finish. So therefore, today in 2003, we have a liberal democracy, which is a secular state, no religion, secular, not pulling on the Bible or the Quran or anything, who are enabling young adults at the age of 10 onwards to marry today in the United States.
And I don't agree with that.
That's your prerogative.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. Yeah. And you know what? That's also the prerogative of the parent. Because the 10, 11, 12, 14-year-old can go, Mom, I've met Jason. Or Jason, or Dad, I've met Mary. All right. And I want to get married. And them as parents can say, you know what? I don't think you're ready yet. I'm not going to give consent to the court, so therefore wait. That's their prerogative.
I'm not talking about regular people. I'm talking about someone who's a prophet.
Yes.
Who's the best example to all of mankind.
Yes.
And you should be able to follow him as well.
No. See, the thing is this. In relation to the age of Aisha, it's not compulsory on me. He taught certain things that were compulsory, that we have to do, like prayers and fasting and blah, blah, blah. Okay? There are certain things that he did where there was a wisdom behind it. I'll give you one of the wisdoms. The wisdom around the marriage of Aisha radiallahu anhu is that she lived as his wife in his household. Yeah? So earlier on we talked about hadith. She is I believe she's number 3 in terms of the amount of hadith narrated out of all of the people who knew him. So we've got a plethora of narrations from her. And a lot of them are from the household, in the inner sanctum of his household. So we know how he treated his wives, how the relationship between a husband and a wife, setting up conversations about the Quran and why it was revealed and the meanings, the exegesis of the Quran and certain things. So that's one of the wisdoms there that we've learned from her. And we believe it was ordained by God. Now, does that negate his prophethood? Does it really negate his prophethood? I don't think so.
I don't think that he's the best example to all of mankind.
Yeah, you don't.
I think that, no, I know, I'm saying from my opinion.
Where'd you
get
your opinion from?
If you can read my example, that means people can do as you do.
Yeah, but there's criteria. I'll give you an example. If someone, a 30-year-old man, wanted to marry an 85-year-old woman, they can marry.
But that's
let me finish. Let me finish. Yeah. They can marry. But if a doctor deems that intercourse with the 85-year-olds would be detrimental to her physically, under Islam, they're not allowed to have sex.
But that doesn't exist.
What do you mean doesn't exist?
Okay,
No, what I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is one of the principles of safeguards in relation to marriage is physical harm, be it a 9-year-old, be it a 15-year-old, be it an 83-year-old. That's one of the criteria.
But a 9-year-old, you can't compare a 9-year-old's body to a 30-year-old's body.
I never said 30, I said 85.
Oh, an 85-year-old woman.
Sorry, yeah, maybe you didn't understand, no problem. So, yes, that's what I meant, yeah.
That is marriage between two consensual adults.
What constitutes an adult? For you?
I would say
your
someone
opinion.
who's physically and emotionally mature enough to make their own decisions.
Yeah? Tell me a bit more about that. How do you determine that in an individual?
By how they act, how they are able to comprehend things.
Okay.
So you're agreeing?
With what?
You two are agreeing?
With what?
Because he's on the same principle. The person got to be mentally.
I don't believe a 9-year-old is physically and mentally in any shape or form.
And we can understand why you wouldn't believe that. Because
I'm a woman and I have nieces that are very strong.
Yeah, and exactly the time in which you are living as well plays a part.
But it doesn't matter if it's in the 7th century.
It does
now.
matter. It does matter.
So where's your medical evidence
what's your
that
knowledge?
somebody who's 9 years old, like 9 years old, is mentally and physically ready or mature enough to accept a marriage and to have sex?
Okay, so do we have an arbitrary date of birth?
Yes.
Or do we gauge it on an individual basis?
What do you mean?
Do we have a set date of when someone can marry? Age. Do we have a set age of when someone can marry? Or do we put it on the individual? Assess the individual individually from a personal circumstance?
Yeah.
Okay, so Aisha was already engaged to someone prior to the Prophet. And the engagement was nullified, and then the Prophet became engaged, age of 6. And then they got married. Okay. And then he waited 3 years. Why did he wait 3 years to consummate the marriage? Because it was deemed she was not ready. So the Prophet and the parents deemed at the age of 9, like you said, as an individual, she was ready. So that was already done.
That's debatable.
No problem. You can accept it or reject it.
You can't say
Even
that.
with her testimony.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The hadith.
She said herself.
The hadith. Yes. Say. Yeah.
She said herself that she was mature.
Yeah. She said it herself. There's a hadith.
But what I'm saying is a 9-year-old is not able to consent to marriage. They're not mentally.
Look, she at a different time.
Sunnah. That the 9-year-old is more mature today than in the 7th century. Where's your medical evidence?
Where is your medical evidence?
Look.
I'm a woman. I've got nieces.
That's your medical evidence? That's your medical evidence? That's not medical evidence.
Look.
You are not bringing medical evidence.
We've agreed. You said there should not be an arbitrary age set, 16, argument set. We should look at each individual's case at that moment in time and assess whether arguments say 12, 14, 18, whatever. Yeah? I'm telling you that the hadith she states is that they married at the age of 6, as you said. They consummated at 9, as you've said. The hadith comes from her own testimony, saying at the age of 9, she was mature enough. Okay. The parents consented as guardians, as safeguarding her. They consented because they believed she was mature enough.
Did she consent?
She consented as well, yes.
Can a 9-year-old consent to marriage?
She could at that time. Because, see, you agreed with me, and now by asking that question, it seems you're disagreeing.
No.
That specific case, she consented. The parents consented. They felt she was ready. They all agreed. She got married at 9. They waited 3 years. They got married at 6. They waited 3 years. They consummated the marriage at 9. She, with her own testimony, says she was mature and ready physically, meaning she was on her period, and mentally she was ready. Now, you've agreed. She was.
But can you prove it?
By her own testimony.
No, can you prove that a 9-year-old can mentally is mentally
Yes.
mature enough. Can you prove it?
Yes.
Where's the medical evidence?
Oh, you want medical evidence? Okay, look at this. NHS.
Okay, what about Aisha?
Also,
Can I finish? This is the NHS UK. NHS UK.
Don't show it to me.
NHS UK. National Health Service UK. So this is physical. This is physical. As your child gets older, their body will start to go through changes known as puberty. Puberty usually, not on a minority standpoint, usually occurs between the ages of 8 and 14 and can last up to 4 years. Okay, so usually 8 to 14, they reach puberty. She reached puberty at the age of 9. Herself and her parents deemed it that she reached puberty, she physically and mentally matured to marry.
Reaching puberty
That's
means
why
mentally mature.
they deem it, like I said,
Do you accept
can I
this?
finish? Like I said,
Do you accept this?
like I said, we've agreed that there should not be an arbitrary age.
It depends on the circumstances for adults, not for children.
What constitutes the child? What?
Physical and mental.
Yeah, you say this,
development.
break it down for me. What constitutes
I
a child?
break it down.
Why? You must do. I mean, if you
All
say,
I know is that
Yes.
I bring next, like I'm gonna come again on Sunday. All I know is that I do believe a 9-year-old is not mentally mature enough to consent to a marriage.
based on what?
Because a 9-year-old's not mentally mature. But
Based on what?
Nine-year-olds, you
based
know.
on my own experience and based on
No problem.
Presentism.
No problem.
But I'm gonna bring back.
That's
the
not a
evidence.
problem. That's your
No,
opinion.
but this
No,
is
I
evidence.
bring in
That's your opinion.
That's not evidence that if someone who reaches puberty is mentally
Your-
mature to
that's-
consent to marry.
that's your
I
prob-
understand that parents can consent 100%.
No,
I can
no.
understand
The evidence
that
from the
point.
Listen.
NHS. Do you accept it?
I accept that you can reach puberty at that age. I don't accept that you're mentally mature because you reach puberty.
No problem.
Right.
No problem.
But that's not this. That's
No
not the
problem.
system in Israel.
So what I've done is show testimony from her parents, that they accepted a marriage at 6, that she says she matured at the age of 9. They all agreed to consent to consummate the marriage at 9. They themselves testify to that fact. I said, what we do is we don't have an arbitrary age.
Right.
We, as you agreed, we look at the individual and assess
Individuals or adults.
and assess it on an individual basis. And you agreed with me.
You can have somebody
Now-
25 years
now-
old who's not capable
now-
of making that decision. For
I agree. I agree.
Yes.
So that's fine, but what
I
I'm saying
agree.
is that
I agree
that's
more.
because they're not meant, that it's got to do with their mental.
I agree
health.
more than you. Like I said, from a physical standpoint, if a 30-year-old was to marry an 85-year-old woman, it could be dangerous in terms of them having sexual intercourse. As with a 9-year-old, it goes both ways.
I'm saying is-
So therefore, we look at safeguarding in relation to what? To puberty, in terms of not only puberty, but physically and mentally. So much so that states in the United States have the same principle today in 2023.
But what I'm saying is I'm looking at individual circumstances. Say, for example, between two 25-year-olds. One might not have the mental capacity to make that decision. One might do.
And in Islam,
but
that's
I'm
not
never
allowed.
going to accept that there'll be a 9-year-old that does and a 9-year-old that doesn't.
Okay. In Islam,
I just believe that
in Islam,
all 9-year-olds
in
are-
Islam,
Based on what?
it's not allowed.
Based on
I
what?
said I'm going to bring back
Based on what?
my own experience and the fact that I've got nieces.
Right, so your nieces,
No, if
your perception of your nieces may be
someone
correct.
is mature,
It may be correct, but guess what?
And every other 9-year-old I've ever
No.
met, but okay.
Yes, actually, yes, possibly.
Yeah.
But there could be places in the world where that's not the case.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, it's not carte blanche blanket. If it is, you should renege on your statement that it's based on the individual circumstance. if that's the case, you should say no. I think the age should be 12.
No, for adults.
It should be 8. What's an adult?
Individuals.
What's an adult? What's an adult? No, give me the classification of an adult. Break it down.
I think anyone's over 18.
There we go. So now you've reneged on your point.
That's my personal
No problem.
opinion.
What's your name, by the way?
Abby.
Abby, Idris. So therefore, you've subtracted your statement to say it's on the individual. Now you're saying 18.
But 9-year-old is not an adult.
But 18 is.
I believe 18 is a good choice.
Let me ask you a question. Is 17 years and 11 months an adult?
I wouldn't say that they're an adult yet.
Huh?
I wouldn't say they're an adult yet.
See you later. Bye, Abby. It's illogical. 1 month, you're not an adult.
How can you compare a 9-year-old to a
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Abby. Let me tell you this, Abby.
We're not comparing.
You have Sarah.
We're not comparing.
Sarah.
We're not
Yeah?
comparing.
She's 17 years old and 11 months.
Right.
At the age of 15, she started to learn to fly an F-35 5th generation fighter jet. She's had 2 tours in a fictional land, Swazi Combo land. She's done 2 tours. Yeah, she's shot down 25 MiG-25s. Yeah, she's flown and wait, let me finish. She has flown an Apache helicopter and taken out half a battalion single-handedly. Yeah, she has a boyfriend. She has a child out of wedlock. But according to you, she's not an adult because she's 17 years old and 11 months.
She's mentally.
Illogical. You see that?
It's not
It is. It is.
I accept that what you're saying is that I'm making a decision that at 18 years old, yeah, people are more mature.
You know what it's on?
to
Do you know
make-
what it's on, Abby?
Wait, can I finish?
It's on your feelings. It's on your feelings.
Emotional.
It's on your feelings.
Emotional.
It's not emotional.
It is.
So you're saying that if I should accept that a 9-year-old can consent to marriage?
I didn't say you should. I'm saying you're arguing from a present state, and you're not looking at those cultures and the differences.
Okay, what I will say is that when it comes to medical evidence, I have to get it and come back, but I don't accept that a 9-year-old is mentally mature enough to make that kind of decision.
America disagrees.
It's fine. It's fine.
America
It's fine.
disagrees.
But it's fine. But you are just you.
America disagrees.
That's fine. I mean, if
But
you go and speak to other women in
the
this
facts
world,
don't care about your
who's
feelings.
got children, if you go and speak to
The
anyone in
facts
this
don't
world,
care about your feelings. Come with facts.
I will come with facts. I think we're going to wrap it up anyway.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you. I think you should open-mindedly
I'm
understand.
not open-minded about child marriage.
Can I speak? Can I speak? I think you should open-mindedly understand the Islamic concept. Yes?
I don't accept that a 9-year-old can.
I'm not telling you to accept that. I want you to accept the Islamic concept when it comes to marriage and stuff like that and having sex. Because it's not just marriage is not like in your mind where it has only to do with sex. That's not the Islamic concept. So what's your thought on the Prophet married to other people who are older than him, to widows? What's your thought?
I don't believe in marriage between more than one man and one woman.
Fine.
I mean, a man marrying more than one woman.
Fine.
So I don't believe in that anyways. I think that's adultery.
Can I read
And
this?
having sex before marriage with another woman is fornication.
Can I say this? That's a different topic. Can I say
It's a
this?
different topic. So
Can I say
we'll
this?
talk about it at a different time.
Can I say this? Right. Child marriage is currently legal in 43 states.
And what other states? They are Islamic
Can I
states.
finish?
Islamic
Can I
states.
finish? Brother, can I finish? Child marriage is currently legal in 43 states. Only Delaware, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island have a set minimum age of 18, as you've said, and eliminated all exceptions. And 20 US states do not require any minimum age for marriage. Any minimum age for marriage. What you need to do is the parents go to court, the court looks at it, they say yes or no, like we do. A 9-year-old may be deemed not suitable for marriage, as with an 85-year-old may not be deemed suitable for marriage because of sex. They can choose to get married and abstain from sex, But if he wants sex with her, or vice versa, they may say no, it's detrimental to her physically. Just like America.
All 9-year-olds, I don't think can consent.
It's okay, but guess what? Guess what?
There are some 85-year-olds who can.
Abby, guess what?
70,
Abby, guess what? In 2023, 20 states in America, in a secular liberal democracy, disagree with you.
That doesn't matter to me.
No problem.
So that means.
Abby, thank you for your time. Honestly.
Thank you for keeping it respectful.
Likewise. Honestly, likewise.
Sorry.
How was that discussion?
Very good.